I think it's amazing the punishment you guys go through, but then to be, because we go through punishment, but I also know from being a little bit heavy for a pro skateboarder that it's a harder hit. And you're way bigger than you're way bigger than anybody that has ever been a pro skateboarder.
Yeah.
How are those slams?
Yeah. I mean,
for a big guy.
But I guess it all kind of weighs out. Like we're hitting usually on a mat. You guys are hitting concrete and rails.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
We had that conversation with Darby, but the consistent abuse and the consistent night after night after night. I mean, you were doing it at a time when no one was really getting much break, right?
No. I had early on in my career with WWE, I had an 8-year stretch where I averaged 250 dates a year.
Dude.
I would go out.
And some of those are like cage matches and stuff.
There's cage matches, but they all kind of run together because there was a time I did 35 nights in a row.
That's unreal.
And that's a different city too.
So no time to heal and rest.
No.
You're just straight on the plane.
No, you're straight on the plane or you're straight in the car. And we didn't have. I mean, it's really cool now to see how our industry has evolved.
Yeah.
In the sense that now we have doctors that travel with us. We have trainers that we have a medical team that anytime that something happens now, there's somebody on it immediately. Yeah. Early on, you guys
weren't icing and stuff, right?
Oh no, I mean, you weren't icing. We weren't doing anything, but just trying to strap it down and do it all over again the next night. I had an injury. I was in Springfield, Massachusetts. I was wrestling a guy by the name of Mabel. He was my height, which is about 6'8", 6'9", but he was like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And he was just grossly out of shape. His cardio was horrible.
Yeah.
And so, and that's usually a lot of the times that's how injuries occur when somebody's doesn't have their cardio and can't keep up in a match. And this is exactly what happened. We're in the match and I'm flying around and he was supposed to be someplace
He
and
didn't get
wasn't.
there in time. Right.
So he tried to compensate, and instead of hitting me, with this part of his arm, he lunged and I'm coming off of the ropes full steam and basically run right straight into a big punch. Hand hits me in my eye socket, and then I have an orbital blowout fracture.
Yeah.
Right. We get back. So I think I've just caught one. Right. I'm going to have a shiner. It is what it is.
No, not with that.
We're driving back. We were kind of staying in Boston and making all these little towns around Boston on this particular loop, and my manager Paul Bearer was driving. I'm sitting in the car. And I didn't even really blow my nose. I just kind of went like that.
Knoxville.
That's how you do it.
And
fighters do it all the time.
My face it blew up.
Yeah.
And so I did have a bag of ice. So I put the bag of ice back on it. It goes back down. And if I sneezed, anything my whole face just puffed out.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not smart enough at that particular time to realize that there may be something wrong with my with my face, but
it didn't affect your eyesight.
That one didn't. That one didn't. I end up.
How many times you broken your orbital?
I've broken both of them.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So I wrestled 2 more nights. And
how doesn't it blow up just shaking your head?
Yeah. It would, but it was. Back then our mentality was, if you walk, you go to the ring.
Yep.
Because it's when you don't show up to events, and we're struggling it too. Our business isn't like it is now. So anytime that you miss a show or something like that, it adversely affects the next time we run that city, because people will think about like, well, I bought tickets to see such and such, and he didn't show, so am I going to do it again? So there's that mentality. You got to go to the ring. You got to work.
Yep.
It's what's best for business. And but anyway, so I'd worked 2 more nights, and I don't even remember what town it was, somewhere up there around Boston. And I was going to meet one of the other guys at a bar after the show, and we were staying in different hotels. So
rest up.
Yeah, we were going to replenish
yes.
our fluids. And I couldn't find the bar, And so I'm driving back to my hotel. It's about 12:30, 1 in the morning. And I see this, like, it's a kind of a rural area. And I drive by and I see a sign that sticking out that says hospital. I said, you know what? I'm going to drive through there. And if there's nobody in the emergency room, I'm going to go get this thing checked out.
Yeah.
Because I know something's not right. I just don't know what it is.
Broken Orbital does give hints.
So I drive in there. There's nobody in the emergency room. I park, I get in, I go, they give me a CAT scan. The doctor comes out and he goes, well, you've lost about 50% of your orbital floor. I'm like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, you need to go home and find you an ophthalmologist and a surgeon. And, comes to find out, I had to end up losing 90% of my orbital floor.
So what are they?
My optic nerve is setting right on top of a jagged piece of bone.
Oh my God.
If I'd have got hit in the right side of my head again, there's a good chance I'd have lost my eye. And so anyway, it took 2 surgeons. They go in, they pick out all the bone fragments, and then they put in a
fake one, right?
Yeah, put in a fake one. And then years down the line, so he was one of the bigger guys, and then one of our littlest guys, like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
he's a tiny guy, sweetheart of a guy. He ended up jumping off of a top rope, and his ass was supposed to hit me in the chest, but it hit me right in the face.
Wait,
No way.
You got your orbital broke by an anus?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even know that was possible.
That's a very specific area of the ass, though.
It was a little dude. It was like this bony ass. It was a bony ass, and it was right on the bridge of my nose.
Right.
So he lands, and then he drives me. I got all of his weight on my head, and I hit the mat and blew out my other one.
Did you know it at that time? Since you had already been through it?
I didn't know. I knew it was like possible, but it broke my nose. And I got concussed all on one deal. I did. You could tell.
That is a hot
next level.
Man.
Yeah. We talk about a lot of injuries on the show, and I don't think we've gone into this territory.
Yeah. I've never been injured by an anus.
Yeah, it's hard being injured by an anus.
I would wear that with pride.
But yeah, my nose was broke. I fixed my nose right there. I just squeezed my nose back, and
was there a risk that your face would be lopsided from either of the fractures?
So this one, the second one, and to this day, and this has been years. I mean, this has probably been 15 years ago that happened. I still have double vision.
Really?
Yeah. So I can look straight, and I'm fine. But to look kind of like my peripheral vision, everything becomes opaque.
Oh, harsh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like that. If I look up, it's opaque. Anything to my side. So I continued to wrestle. So then, from that point forward, I had to make sure that, I couldn't just rely on my eyes. I had to turn so that I could always make sure that everybody was clear and I knew exactly where everybody was at. So,
well, that's why I'm not wrestling, because I can't turn my neck that far to look at people straight on. So.
Yeah. How's your neck? Because you guys always hurt your neck too. Yeah. Right?
My neck's jammed up. I need new knees.
You haven't had new knees yet?
No, not yet. I've put it off.
That's cool.
But it's getting to a point now where I think, I need quality of life, right?
And they're getting better, man. Every year I keep seeing people that get knee replacements and hip replacements where they're back and like better than ever.
Yeah. My hips, I've already redone my hips. I don't have full hip replacements. I have what they call the Birmingham hip resurface. And that's where they go in. I got a zipper like that on my hip where they go in. They take the head of the femur. They take all the arthritis and the scar tissue off of it. Yeah. They drill a hole in it, and they put a titanium cap.
Awesome.
Right over the head of the femur, and then they go in the acetabulum. They do the same thing. They clean out the socket part, and there's a titanium cup that they hammer in there.
Cool.
It's awesome.
You got on both?
I got them on both sides now. That's the only way I was able to keep wrestling. If I'd had total hips done, I wouldn't have been able to wrestle. But